Hey, everybody. It's Saturday night, 9:45. Just a little put through this live stream together really quick because I just got into my room here. And as you can see, the bottom, live from the Philippines. A couple more days here in the Philippines before we head home. So I says, I got to do a live stream after this debacle this afternoon of what I call a complete mismanagement of the bullpen. If you follow some of my Twitter comments, I said Ross Stripling is equivalent to having a technical foul and you need a shooter, and you're going to put Kevon Looney to shoot the free throw when you've got, Klay Thompson or Steph Curry or, guys that are much more efficient at shooting free throws. And Ross Stripling is not a bad pitcher, but he's not a relief pitcher in the eighth inning of a game that he's already given up 4 home runs on the season in 6 1/3 innings, 3 in his start against the Yankees and 1 in the 7th inning today to make it 5-2. But he gets 2 men on, and Salvador Perez, who hit 48 home runs just in 21, I think it was?
Yeah, a couple of years ago, yeah.
And he's looking to hit a home run. Stripling's a fly ball pitcher.
Oh, and don't forget that Perez is a low ball hitter as well.
Yes, and he throws him a low ball that he golfs out. And, hey, you lose games like this. Managers don't necessarily win you a lot of games, but they can lose games for you by decisions they make, because you can't expect guys to, sometimes a bullpen guy is going to go out and blow it, but he's a reliever. Your closer blows it, but that's his job. Sometimes you send up a hitter in a situation and he strikes out like they did in the 8th inning today when they had bases loaded, nobody out, and couldn't score. That's not on Kapler. That's on the players.
Yeah.
But when you put a player in a position to succeed that he's not normally designed to do,
right?
What are you doing? I mean, hey, by the way, I forget. You guys know Romo. It's Eric Romo.
Hey, Jim on base is in here.
Oh, really? Jim, come on in. Let me send you the link. I'd love to have Jim come on in. Let me see how I do that. One sec here.
Oh, do you want me to copy and paste it?
Yeah, could you copy and paste it and put it in the chat? I mean, I have Jim's. Let me see if I can do that. I might be able to do it, Eric.
Oh, you got it.
Because I can send it. I can send it directly to Jim's phone.
All right.
Let me see if I've got it.
Hey, what's up? Hey, Dan, and here's the thing, too. Stripling, you saw what he did in the 7th, and then you throw him back out there in the 8th. He gives up 2 hits. You still keep him out there. I mean, why would you even put him out there in the 7th in the first place? I mean, that's not a position that Stripling is normally called to do. He's not a late inning type of a guy, It's and the success, or I should say, the lack of success that he's had in the last couple of outings. Like you said, you're not setting him up for success. You're setting him up for failure, and that's exactly what happened.
Exactly. It's exactly what happened, and hey, Ryan at Jim on Base, I just sent you a text. If you want to come in, join the chat, love to have you come on in and rap with us. We're just here on a Saturday night. Actually, it's Sunday over here, Easter Sunday, 12:45 in the afternoon in the Philippines. So I was just like, man, I got to get this. I got to rant here. I was ranting on Twitter, but I'd love to have some other people rant. I mean, what a cluster. Well, I don't swear much. I'll just say, what a giant fuster clock.
Hey, Lou Marston makes a good point. The hitting in the clutch kind of failed. Yeah, they got 5 runs, but they had that chance in the 9th inning when they had a bunch of guys on base and they couldn't get a run across.
Yeah.
Or was that the 8th inning? No, I think
That was the eighth.
inning?
Eighth
That was the
inning.
eighth inning.
Bottom of the
Yeah.
eighth. Bases loaded. Yeah, and guys didn't come through. MF says, "Why was Stripling an option in late innings?"
Actually, exactly.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, the seventh inning, he gave you a hint. He had already given up a home run, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
now it's 5-2. You've got the Rogers brothers. You got John Brebbia. You got Scott Alexander, and you got Camilo Duvall. Okay.
I mean, you have Jelly, but I wouldn't have thrown him out there for the same.
Yeah.
But he was having just as much, frustration as Stripling had in the beginning of the season. So yeah, why not go to Brebbia or one of the Rogers brothers?
Yeah. Mark Graves says, how many real bullpen guys do we have that know their role? No reason Ross should be out there for 2 innings. Yeah, what I said on Twitter, this is the 8th game of the season. Guys are fresh.
Yep.
You've had 2 days off already. It's not like it's game.
Right.
It's not game 157 and your bullpen's taxed because they've been overused all year. You're not even using your bullpen guys.
Right.
In the 8th inning, I can understand Stripling pitching.
This is not. Yeah, exactly.
I can understand Stripling coming in 5th, 6th inning. But this is the 8th inning. My goodness. And
after
then you got.
Gave up a jack.
He gave up a jack. Then he's got 2 runners on. Why not bring in somebody at that point who's a ground ball pitcher, maybe like Tyler Rogers?
Yeah. How about that?
I mean, Rogers, he's not like what I said on Twitter. It's like Kapler managed this game like it was Game 7 of the World Series, and he had Randy Johnson or Max Scherzer out on the mound, and he was going to go with his horse. I mean, you got Ross Stripling. I mean, nothing against Ross Stripling. He's an adequate, nice. He's a nice man. I've met him. Great guy. He's not a reliever. Okay.
No.
And he's off to a struggling start. He had a really good year last year, but you don't put guys. That's what I said. You don't put guys in positions to succeed when it's not their role.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's like when you pick a World Cup team, for golf, you don't send out, a guy to play in a match play. If you got Tiger Woods and you need one match and you send out, some guy who's never won a clutch, whatever. I mean, just use your bullpen.
It made no sense. Yeah, it honestly just not made any sense at all.
I mean, Kansas City came in here 1-6.
Yeah, they're on the ropes.
Yeah, and then you've got what I also said on Twitter is this: either this is a misconstruction of the roster to not use your bullpen in the 8th inning, either a misconstruction or an inept manager, or both. What do you think, chat? Is it an inept roster construction that you don't have a reliever to use in the 8th game of the season in a high leverage situation, the 8th, and you go with a struggling pitcher who's given up 5 home runs now in just a little over 6 innings? Or is it ineptness on the manager?
Yeah.
Or is it both?
Yeah, and
I'll throw that out.
Point. Here's another good point. Lou, bring up another good point. And same thing.
Go ahead and double tap on it. You can you go ahead and just tap on it. It should come up in the chat.
He's
can
saying
you tap on it, Eric?
was only at I'm sorry.
Can you tap on the comment? It should pop up in the. Just tap on the.
Oh yeah. See, I'm just using my laptop.
Oh, you're using your phone. Which one is it?
Lou Marth, he just talked about how Manaea was only at 71 pitches.
Yeah, there it is.
Why pull him out in the 6th if he's only at 71 pitches, somewhere around there? Let him go out for one more.
I think he was it 76 or somewhere around there. Then he said he's working himself up to starter. Well, why not go another 10
I thought that's
pitches?
What you did in spring training. You work your way up. You're at least at maybe 90 pitches by the time you got out of spring training.
I mean, wouldn't it be refreshing to say, I probably shouldn't have had Ross out there in that situation. Yeah. That's on me.
That would be nice.
Yeah. No, we're working him up. That's why we, we took Mania out and I put Ross in because the intent was to always piggyback. That's what he said, was to always piggyback Ross with Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Well, situation changes.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what you're supposed to do as a manager, right? You're supposed to understand these types of situations. And then someone else just brought up, who is it? Oh, Mark Graves. You ever listen to Kapler and when he's talking to John Miller in the pregame, he's talking like he's a player rather than a manager. He gets too much into the weeds rather than just managing the club and making the right decisions as a manager. He's acts like he's one of the guys swinging the bat. And and another thing, Jim Bass, he also made a good point. This whole debacle totally just ruined Mania's great outing. It almost gets ignored. You know, the guy had 8 strikeouts, went 6 strong, and that's kind of pushed to the wayside because of the
Hey, if for some reason I blow out of here, my battery, I got to look for my battery to plug in. Find a plug in this little place. You find one there, babe? All right. I'm down to, there we go. Battery's back. Okay. I'm like, oh my goodness. It just popped up. Sometimes when it does that, your battery savers, like it goes down to like, it gives you like 2 minutes and you're dead.
Yeah, but you're done.
Yeah. So what else do we got in here? Jim on Base Show says, seems like we aren't utilizing the Rogers brothers enough early on. Such a wasted performance from Mania.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
it's sad.
It really is frustrating because, you know, I don't have a personal grind with anybody, but I'm just not going to sugarcoat things when I see things because, you know, I like certain guys and, you know, but I'm going to just tell it like it is. And I just think I said it was on Kapler because I don't think you put a guy, even leaving him in. Okay, so you got him in there. You've made, in my view, you already made one mistake. Don't keep doubling down on it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like 2 men on, Salvador Perez up, and you know he's looking for a pitch to drive out, and a guy who's given up 4 home runs already this year.
And here's another thing. Does Mania even know how to throw to Perez? Perfect example. Remember Game 7, 2014?
Throw him up and tighten in.
What did Bumgarner do?
Threw him up.
I don't think he threw a pitch below his waist.
No, he didn't. He kept going up at the letters.
Right.
He went up at the letters. He's a low ball hitter.
And then Stripling, he should know. I mean, he played for Toronto, so he should have faced Perez before. But whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna harp on him too much. But that was a mistake. The location and
yeah. Vicky Boone, good to have you in here, Vicky. She says, "Hi Dan, hope you're doing okay. Last night, Locked On was so mean to you. Not good. The Giants are who we thought they were. Bad. It's both. Hold the blame." Yeah, thanks, Vicky. Yeah, unfortunate situation last night. I don't know what got into Cy on that. I thought it was completely uncalled for. I just answered Larry's question, and it was factual information. I wasn't giving an opinion. I was giving what was put out in the media, that Andrew Wiggins was not playing because he was not in game shape. And Cy just jumped on me and said I interrupted him, and I always interrupt, and I didn't interrupt him. Go back and look at the tape. It's very obvious. And if you read all the comments from the YouTube, it's pretty clear how everybody felt. You know, it's a weird thing. I don't get it, but you know, I'm just disappointed a little bit in myself that I got a little bit personal. I shouldn't have done that. You know, I just got really frustrated, and I was like, where is this coming from? So, and it just goes a little bit against me. I don't like to, you know, rip people personally, but I was kind of caught off guard and reacted. Yeah. So
more human.
Yeah. And you know, I mean, the bottom line is, you know, that whole show originally was, Larry's show, and it was Larry, Ryan, and I, and we did that for almost a year. We did all of the Warrior post games last year, and that was the beginning days of the Krug show. So it's just unfortunate situation, but it's not the first time. I mean, he goes off a lot on people, and I that's enough said about it. But yeah. So Mark Graves says he apologized to Larry for being unprofessional. He doesn't like to be interrupted when he's talking, which is interesting because I wasn't interrupting him at the time. There have been times when, I might interrupt, but that's kind of the nature of a 5-guy show. Sometimes if you have a thought,
it's tough.
It's very tough. Sometimes you wait, and then you see a possible opening, and everybody does it. It's not. I mean, he does it too. I mean, but something I definitely want to be aware of myself, not to try to interrupt anybody. But wow. Anyway, Ramos. MF says somebody put in the comment, "Is it true Ramos is coming up?" And then MF says he should stay up for good this time. It's kind of funny. I put out a tweet 2 days ago. I'm going to see if I can read it here. Let's see. Let me pull up my Twitter on my phone here.
All right, here's a quick question. How long do you think Ramos stays up?
Yeah, I think he probably stays up for 4 or 5 days, knowing the Giants.
Yeah.
Unless he hits. Here is the actual tweet that I put out just 2 days ago.
Sean, what's up, man?
Or a day and a half. Let's see. It would not shock me to see the San Francisco Giants call up Elliot Ramos and send down Matt Beatty for Sunday's game against the Kansas City Royals, as they will face their first left-handed starter, followed by 2 more against the Dodgers. Currently, the Giants only have one outfielder who bats from the right side, Bryce Johnson, whose stronger side is from the left. They could go with Estrada in left field, but he's likely to spell Crawford at shortstop in 1 or 2 of those games. Brandon Crawford likely to rest Sunday, tomorrow is my guess, and Wednesday against Kershaw, who he's had a tough time hitting against. In 6 games in SAC, Ramos is batting .304 with 7 hits and 23 at-bats. More importantly, he's only struck out 4 times in those at-bats, or 17%, which is a big improvement over 22 when he struck out. His K rate was 26%. Also had 2 stolen bases. He looked at his numbers yesterday. He was up to like 308. I don't know what they said he was scratched today. So
so that's
it's if you follow the Giants long enough, you can kind of see trends the way they manage the team.
Yeah.
We're Farhan. So I was like, okay, they don't have any right-handed bats. They're going to face 3 lefties in the next 4 games. They're going to bring up Ramos. He's on the 40. It's simple. They'll send Beatty down. That's and pretty easy to call. My thing is what MF is saying. Should stay up for good this time. Hopefully. I just don't think that's the Giants. They don't really.
That's not their.
They're not really super high on Ramos. If they were, they'd play him every day, and they wouldn't have gone out and signed Haniger or Conforto or both of them. They would have signed, one of them.
Hey, Sean Proctor is in here.
Is Sean in here?
Yep.
Let me see. Hey, Sean. You want to come in, Sean? Sean's always got a good word to say.
Yeah. He has some good takes.
Hey, Sean, I will text you the link. Hold on here. Let me.
Hey, who's pitching for the Royals tomorrow, anyways?
Tomorrow for the Royals, let me look it up here. I know it's a lefty. I just don't. Hold on one sec here. Tomorrow, the lefty for the Royals is
Bubic?
Chris
Never heard of him.
Bubic. He's 0-1, 3.6 ERA, 5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 Ks, 1 base on balls. So, yeah. So, let me copy
Here's the question:
link.
has the Giants ever faced him? Because that's going to be the issue.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the case. Sean, check your text. I
Yeah,
sent
he said
you.
he'll come in a bit. He said in a bit.
Okay, I just sent it to you, Sean. Come on in anytime you're ready. I don't know how long we'll go. Just kind of depends on how the chat's doing. How anybody wants to come in. You know what? Let me see if I can just. Do you know how you got the link? Go ahead and post the link in the chat.
Sure.
Anybody wants to come in and get their 2 cents in and maybe have their voice heard, that would be just fine because I've been running that live from the Philippines banner. I think I'll take that off there.
Pretty soon it won't be.
Yeah, I leave. Let's see. This is Sunday over here. I actually leave Tuesday morning, but it's a 1 a.m. flight. So, got over here. I was going to come tomorrow, fly over from the province I was in with my wife's family lives, but there's no flights tomorrow. They're all sold out.
Easter, yep.
Yeah, it's Easter Sunday today here, and then everybody flies back home after visiting their families, I guess, the next day. So I didn't realize that when I went to book it. I got over here, almost 2 weeks ago, and it's just like, I'll just grab a flight on Monday. There's no, so I was like, so I had to get a place for tonight, and then I just kept it for 2 nights because I'm not getting out of here till 10 o'clock tomorrow night to head to the airport. And I'm like, I don't want to check out at noon and haul four pieces of luggage around town in the heat
for 10 hours.
Yeah. I want to go into this flight pretty rested because it's total flight time with layover tomorrow on Tuesday is going to be ridiculous. It's going to be like 25 hours. So it's like, gosh.
Oh, I don't miss that. I don't.
Yeah. Graves says when you land, it'll be yesterday. Yeah, it's true. I actually leave Tuesday morning, the 11th at 1 a.m. and arrive in San Francisco at 10:40 a.m. on the 11th. Same day. Yeah.
Whew.
So
I don't miss that. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I've done it a lot. Prior to COVID, I did a lot of traveling because my wife, we got married in 2018, but it took a year to get her here legally. It's like I should have just brought her over the Mexican border, right? Just hey, come on in. It's like should have waited till Biden was president. Hey, come on in. It's free border. Anyway, no, I just so it took a year to do the all paperwork. The legalities of getting a visa and the paperwork. So it was like we got married in 18, and in June of 18, I'm like, dang, I'm not going to wait a year to see her again. So every 2 months I flew over. But what I did is we flew to we only went to the Philippines twice of those 5 times I went over. We went 3 times trips to Singapore because that's a wonderful place to go. Singapore is like beautiful. It's clean. It's safe. And
just don't throw gum on the ground, man.
You know what I did?
You get caned.
Exactly. I was walking out of dinner. We were walking, and I just like, spit. I've just a habit of like, walking. And I was like, my wife goes, oh, hey. And I totally forgot. Fortunately, it was like, around midnight because we, schedule was off and we were eating late. But it's totally safe. I saw people, you can be a woman walking on the streets of Singapore at 2 a.m. and feel safe. It's crazy. It's just really cool. So, Bouncer says, how's the weather? Well, have you been to the gym lately at the sauna? Yeah, it's kind of like if you go into the sauna, that's kind of like the weather here. It's just
I like what is it? Robin Williams in Good Morning Vietnam when he talks about that. Oh, he acts like a weatherman. It's hot.
yeah.
It's damn hot.
Oh man. Yeah, it's crazy. We landed here in Cebu this morning at like 8 o'clock, and we had to wait. We got into our kind of it's kind of like a condo, Airbnb type deal. So we got in at noon. Fortunately, check-in was at 2, but they got it cleaned up early enough, so
Nice.
we got in. And but we knew we were going to have to wait, so we didn't get over here till about 11, and we waited about an hour to get in. So I was in the airport, and we were in the baggage claim area, and it was cool. The air conditioning was on in there, and I had some Wi-Fi, and I said, you know what, we'll just sit here. Well, my wife decided to go out the doors to get something to eat, and then they wouldn't let her back in. So she's like 30 feet from me. I can see her through the glass windows, and I walked over to her and talked to her, and it was like almost like, if I don't know if you've seen
You're in prison?
movies, in prison, and we're talking to each other. I can reach out and touch her. In fact, she handed me some of the food, but if I walked out of I couldn't get back in, so I stayed on the cool side. She said, "Oh, just stay in there," because she was on the outside, even though it was had a roof over it. They didn't have the air on out there, so it was crazy. Could I get a water, babe?
It's funny. We're kind of going off topic here, but Bouncer talks about how you dislike humidity. The worst place I ever went when I was deployed in the desert, and we're right next to the Persian Gulf. And this, mind you, this is in February. It was 100 degrees with 100% humidity. I have never experienced anything like that.
100% humidity. Oh my gosh.
Listen to this. The buildings that we were working in, they were literally like dripping.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It just drips.
Collecting. Oh, I was like, what?
Exactly. Let's bring in the green room there. The great Sean Proctor. Hey, welcome, Sean.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, what's up, Sean?
Can you hear me?
I hear you great. Just decided to have a little rant time on here because of Kapler's handling of the bullpen today.
So yeah, I missed it all. It's my anniversary today. So
cool. Happy anniversary.
Awesome.
Thanks.
What number?
6.
6. Awesome.
Yeah. So I was kind of I took my son to soccer, and then we went out and saw a movie and went to dinner. Went to a fancy dinner tonight. So I didn't watch the game. That's kind of the nice thing about not watching. You don't really get pissed off.
Yeah. It's
what I assume they lost their second game of the series.
Yeah, they were up 5-1. Then Mania pitched 6 innings, really good ball, 76 pitches. He takes him out, starts Stripling in the 7th. Stripling gives up a home run, his 4th of the year in 6 innings. And then in the 8th inning, they're up 5-2. I don't remember the sequence, but the Royals somehow got 2 guys on base.
Mm-hmm.
And Salvador Perez, the guy that hit 48 home runs 2 years ago for the Royals, is up. A low ball hitter. Remember in 2014, he made the last
Salvador
out.
Perez?
Yeah. So the guy that made the last out in the World Series against Mad Bum. Yeah, he popped out to Panda.
I was there.
Foul. You were at the game in Kansas City?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Man.
Yeah, we were 10 rows right off of the Giants dugout. So I was
that's awesome. The ball. That's the side where he caught the ball, right?
Yeah, we were like 30 feet from there.
Oh, how cool was that?
It was unreal.
Could you see it was off the bat that it was going to be in foul territory, but catchable?
Yeah, I mean, but it was stressful because that was when he hit the line drive and Blanco kind of muffled the ball, and you're like, oh my god, are they going to blow this game right here? This is going to be, because this is coming off of game 6, which they got just trounced
10-0 or something like that.
Yeah, they got trounced. But it was really cool. Like there was not that many Giants fans in the stadium that day. There really wasn't. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, so there was not many Giants fans, and then right after Pablo caught that ball, like all the Giants fans just congregated right where our seats were, because that's where obviously the Giants were all celebrating right there, and then they were coming and going from the dugout in the clubhouse. They were coming out and like celebrating, and it was pretty cool. Yeah, I was on TV because the cameras were right there, and so all my friends were like texting like, "Oh my God, I just saw you on TV." It was crazy. It was so much fun. So much fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. Oh, I forgot this comment from Lou Marston. How about the Giants only 35,000 for the second game of the year? That was sold, and
did they sell out yesterday?
Up there for the top for a sunny day. It was Brandon Belt's ear flap day. Tomorrow is worse. Only 24K tickets sold. What, Brandon Belt tomorrow? What are they doing? Oh, it's they are just ear flap day tomorrow.
Did they sell out opening day?
They said they did, but some people said there was good sections of open seats. It looked like so.
They're a joke.
You know what? They got the Dodgers. If this was not the Dodgers Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they would be empty.
This is
especially
only
especially if they lose tomorrow.
Yeah, this is one of 2 times, right, that the Dodgers are coming to town.
Mm-hmm. They don't come in until the last 3 of the season.
All the tickets will go to Dodger fans. There'll be a ton of Dodger fans there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Dodger fans because the Giants. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah. So, anyways, I haven't been watching. Really, been pretty busy, so I haven't watched any of the games. I have another big Giants fan who's a buddy, and he's way more optimistic than I am. And he messaged me. He's like, "Oh, the Giants are mashing right now," and I was like, "Yeah, they're a 500 team. Exactly what you said, Dan. I'm like 500 team. They're either going to hit 12 home runs or they're going to strike out 16 times and get shut out and not get anyone past second base." So it's like what?
Yeah. How about their slogan? Their slogan for this year is, what is it? Nothing
like it.
Nothing like it. So I put that out in a tweet today. I said, Giants blow 5-1 lead late. Nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
Yeah.
By all means, let's extend Farhan. Like, it's such a good idea.
Oh, well, man.
That's the other thing.
Let's extend him. I mean, he's done so much.
Why would you extend a guy? Like, Farhan wouldn't even extend a guy if he had a club option. He'd wait to see how the player does for the year. So why would Greg Johnson extend him and then say, we're going to actually want to sign him for even longer term? You don't know what the farm system's going to do this year, and you don't know what the team's going to do this year. I mean, they played 8 games. They're 3-5. They've looked good in 3 games, 3.5 games. Today they look good for, half the game or a little better. But as Lou said, here they had bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th with nobody outs and couldn't score.
Nope, exactly. And to piggyback on Sean, with Farhan, what player in his baseball career, in his baseball time as a GM, whether it was with the Dodgers or president of baseball ops with the Giants, what player has he found that has had longevity in the league and produced other than Max Muncy? Yeah.
No.
That he's found? So, I mean, his best trade that he may have made is the J.D. Davis, and they got 3 other players. They got Thomas Zapucki, some guy named Nick Zwack,
that's a trade.
and
what about
Carson Seymour. Now they got rough back.
Are we including? So we're including the Dodgers too.
Yeah, included Dodgers.
Yeah. A's,
Muncy.
A's, Dodgers. I mean,
I don't know how much effect he had with the A's though. That's
Bellinger. Bellinger was an MVP.
Was that under Farhan or was that under?
Sure Farhan drafted Bellinger.
Well, he drafted him, but did he?
Oh, he did.
But did he draft him, or did his baseball scouts?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all.
I'm not either. I'm really
not a fan at all. Okay. So, I mean, Dan knows. I'm a huge Giants fan. Obviously, mm-hmm. I mean, I was a season ticket holder up until a couple years ago when I got tired of the Giants. I was basically like a scalper for the Giants, and I was losing money every year. So I stopped being that, and I would tell Larry Bear right to his face, just like Dan did. Like, it's awesome, but I haven't watched a single game this year. Partly because I've been doing a lot of stuff, but partly I'm just over Farhan and I'm over Kapler. I'm over the way they run the team. I'm over their inept off seasons. I'm over them not trading Rodon last year and getting some picks. I just don't like it. I don't like it.
You know what's funny, Sean?
I don't like anything.
Every time I'm out and about, and I'll see a guy wearing a Giants hat or a Giants shirt, and I'll start talking about the Giants. There is not one person that I have come across that has any kind of hope in Farhan or Kapler. They can't stand him. They can't.
Yeah, he's just both those guys are a mess.
So that makes me wonder, what is Greg Johnson? Is there some ulterior motive of why he's saying this? And
money. These guys were made $75 million in profit. They were second in MLB last year.
Yeah,
they brought in Farhan. I am convinced to try to restructure the organization with the farm system, but keep payroll down. And then 21 was a fluke. Mm-hmm. And
did you see MF's tweet?
No.
So this is like a couple days ago. MF tweeted like the definition of a 500 manager, and it was like if you just go to like Kapler's Wikipedia.
Yep.
So it was like 81 and 81, like maybe a couple games over 500, and then in Philly he was like 6 games below 500, and then he came to the Giants, and there's like the one anomaly, 107 wins. And then last year, 500. And then this year, he tweeted this out when they were 2-2. So he's like, you need a 500 manager.
Yeah. Hey, I noticed some few new names in the chat, but mostly guys that we see. But if you're new and you're in the chat here, hit the like and subscribe button. And then hit the show notifications, and you'll get notified every time we go live. This thing was obviously I was traveling, had no access to anything. I got set up in this little I'm in this like little Airbnb.
Did you bring your mic to
I did. Yeah, my wife packed it. I didn't even know she packed it. My wife's unbelievable. And she just had everything.
That's awesome.
She packed the my camera and everything. So I wasn't
on a different note, I didn't mean to interrupt you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Who do you think the Warriors are going to play in the first round?
Well, I think it's going to be Sacramento because if
it comes down to if the Clippers
lose, win or lose,
if they're
Suns. Phoenix and they're in Phoenix. Suns. Here's the weird thing: if they beat the Suns and the Warriors win, Clippers start in Phoenix next week with a series. So I think it's going to be two teams that are just you're going to see the reserves. And I don't think Phoenix puts anybody out there hardly.
I don't think Phoenix is going to put anyone out. The Clippers need to win the game. If the Clippers,
otherwise they could go into the play-in
and lose, and LA wins, then the Clippers could find themselves in the play-in.
Yes, exactly. Lakers are going to beat the Jazz. This is okay. Here's how I see this.
Yeah,
Warriors are going to beat Portland. They're favored by 17. Portland's playing nobody.
I can't believe I didn't fire last night minus 9.5. I honestly can't even believe it. Just
so
lock of the year.
I think the Warriors beat the Blazers. Pelicans are playing the T-Wolves in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
If Minnesota wins, they tie New Orleans, and I think they end up getting the 8 seed, and then Minnesota would get the 8 seed, and I think New Orleans would fall to the 9. Oklahoma's already locked in at 10. So it's really the Warriors can go anywhere between 5 and 8. But I got to believe Minnesota beats New Orleans. However, if New Orleans does win, they have the potential to go all the way up to 5. So New Orleans and Minnesota is going to be the best game of the day tomorrow. Because the rest of them, that's going to be a game to watch. Because
they all start at the same time.
They all start like 12:30.
Obviously, the sweet spot is 6 because you get to face the Kings. I think that's the best matchup for them.
Yeah.
Some guy on KNBR today was on 95.7 The Game with JD and I don't know who the other host was, but it was like the one caller who called in and was like, I'm kind of like feel the other way. Like I would love for them to get the 5 seed and play Phoenix healthy and not run down. Like if they go the six route, then they're going to face, if Phoenix gets there, they're going to face them in the Western Conference Finals. And you got 2 series that you've been beat up and all that stuff. So he's like, I'd rather just, if you're going to beat them and you think you're good enough to beat them, then just play them in the first round and then beat the Nuggets. And I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I think the 6 here's, I mean, if you get the 6th seed, and we'll go back to the Giants here real quick, guys, and then we'll come back to the Warriors maybe a little bit too as well. But if you get the 6th seed, you beat Sac. Lakers finish in the 7th seed, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say Lakers in 7. I think the Lakers could beat Memphis. Now you got home court against the Lakers in round 2.
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix would play
Denver,
or 4-5 would play the Clippers. Okay, 4-5 Clippers. Winner goes to plays Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Clippers somehow knock off the Suns and then knock off Denver. Warriors could play all 3 rounds in California.
Yeah, have home court advantage in the Western Conference.
Well, they wouldn't have in the second round. They could have home court advantage if Lakers. I could see the Lakers beating Memphis, and I really could. Lakers have improved dramatically.
So, definitely, and AD's a problem.
Yeah,
AD is a problem, and with the Memphis Grizzlies, you can just stack the paint. You can just basically you don't need to. I mean, you obviously need to guard the 3-point line, but you can stack the paint more because they're slashers and drivers, and Ja wants to drive and make those crazy shots in the paint. So you could stack that. Yeah. And AD is a problem for that team. He always dominates the Grizzlies.
Yeah. Anybody know about Paul George's condition? Is he going to be ready for the playoffs?
That poor guy, man. He's the one that broke his leg against the stanchion years ago. He's had
I remember that for the
injuries.
When they were doing the international team.
For he was on the Pacers at that time. But oh my God, poor Paul George had some really bad injuries. Yeah, I don't think he's coming back for a while.
Oh well, if he's not back, I would think if the Clippers play the Suns will win that series, and then you got Suns Denver, which will be a heck of a series.
Yeah,
in that way, let the Suns and Denver go 7 and beat up each other,
sure.
and then
the Suns have no bench. That's the thing. Like they
had the issue.
They had to trade everyone away to get KD, and they're nasty with KD and Booker. There's no doubt that those 2 guys are dominant together. They haven't lost yet when they're both on the court.
Yeah,
but they don't have a bench, so they're not going to play 48 minutes. So I don't know. I guess you kind of hope that you can get them. And I think it would be a good matchup against the Nuggets. The Nuggets are a decent team, but the Nuggets haven't played good in like 3 or 4 weeks. So
right.
Who knows?
MF to talk. I just saw this comment. When we get to the Niners season, I'll cover Niners talk and stuff. I'm not going to do the in-depth stuff that some of those other guys are doing. I
think maybe he's talking about right now.
Are you going to talk Niners too?
MF, are you talking right now or overall?
Oh, I'm not sure. MF, are you talking like tonight, or are you talking about when
on the channel?
On the channel, because I will definitely cover the Niners on the channel, but probably not much. I mean, I look at a lot of the Niner content out there, and there's guys, talking about things and stuff. I'll say this about the Niners. A lot of people, including Larry, saying that, trade Trey Lance. I don't see why you would trade a guy when your number 1 quarterback, Purdy, you don't know what he's going to come back like. If you trade Lance and then you're just going to count on, drawing a blank, the guy that
Darnold?
the Jet, Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
If you're gonna count on him to be your quarterback, because you don't know if Purdy's going to be really ready for the first month, and if he is he going to be as good as he was, before he got hurt? I think Lance is a guy that saw how Purdy excelled in the offense, kept things simple. I'm sure because you can actually if you have talent, which he does, athleticism, you can actually learn when a guy's being successful watching a guy on the bench. You could say, oh, this is what he does. He's getting rid of the ball quick. He's taking his reads. He's not sitting there trying, or he's scrambling a little bit out. But Lance is a competitor. So I wouldn't be surprised. The fact he's already working out with Patrick Mahomes and another quarterback coach, and he's changed his motion, tells me this guy's playing. He's got pride, and he's also knows that he's got to prove himself if he wants to get that next contract. Remember, these guys are motivated to make $100 million or more in their career and set themselves up for their lives. I mean, they really only have to commit to, a couple really good years to make that money and get that one contract. I mean, look at Garoppolo. Garoppolo's made over $100 million. The guy's he's financially set for the rest of his life.
Average.
But he's average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm obviously not a scout or anything like that. Like I've watched football for a long time. The difference that I saw from Lance's short little stints before Shanahan ran him up the middle like a fullback. And Purdy just processed the information faster. And he hit the tiny windows. Yep. That's it. And he got out. I mean, he had a quick little scampers where he could get away from pressure.
He had quick feet.
But he looked to me like he was just processing the playbook and where he in his reads faster than most people would.
Exactly.
He definitely processed it faster, and he hit the windows faster than Jimmy G did. Because Jimmy G could only throw 10 yards downfield, maybe 20. He couldn't throw further than that. And that's why everything was super condensed, in my opinion. The playbook
and defenses stacked the line more.
Yeah, they're like, well, this dude can't throw deep, so I'm just going to stack the line. So but that's the only difference I saw. Like when I didn't see Lance like dissecting the defense super quick, processing the information, knowing his first, second, third reads quickly, and then hitting it in a tight window. But that's what
exactly.
That's kind of what you want from your quarterback, right? Like that's what
you want a quick processor, and that's what made Purdy so good, and why he was able to, like you said.
So you think Lance can do that?
I think he saw that, and I think if he can't do it, he's not going to be there. Okay,
well, so he's anywhere,
right?
He'll be a backup somewhere,
right? So he is mentally, he's smart, he's competitive. He loves football. So you take all those things together, and if you realize that, hey, my career is on the line, I have another shot here. Because Purdy wasn't hurt. He wasn't going to be given a shot this year. He's got a shot to come into camp, be the opening day starter, and let's say he gets 3 or 4 games before Purdy's ready, 100%. If the guy rakes and looks like anything close to Patrick Mahomes' ability, and he's completing 65% of his passes, and he's getting the ball out quick, and he gives you another dimension of being able to run outside the tackles,
not inside.
Yeah, exactly. Outside the tackles. And if he learns, like Justin Fields, to go down instead of run through people, you could all of a sudden you have a completely different animal.
You have 3 dudes. I hope so. I hope he's awesome. I hope he's awesome.
Yeah. So
hey, I don't know nothing about football or basketball, but here's one thing I'm kind of taking away from what Sean's talking about. You're talking about people who have certain traits. You're born with it. You're born with being able to process things quicker than other people. I don't think that a learned ability as far as being a quarterback, or is that something that you're just going to have something that's within inside of you? Yeah, you can learn certain other things, but being able to do that processing seems like that's something you're almost born with, rather than
there is a little bit more to some guys just have that, what do they call it, the sixth sense or whatever. Mm-hmm. Some people have natural, athleticism. I mean, getting back to, just go back to the Giants. You could see it in Blake Sable. He's 6'4", but he's an athlete, and he made a catch yesterday in left field where
I saw that clip.
He kind of came diving in, got the ball just off the turf, and the ball then popped up in the air, and he dove and got it out of the air. And so
he kept us. You see his eyes? His eyes were they look like Mike Singletary eyes. He wasn't losing it.
And then today, it was a foul ball that and he came over toward the on deck circle, stepped on a like a donut, the baseball donut bat, and he lost his footing a little bit, and he ended up lunging and diving to make the catch. That's athleticism to do that in left field catcher. He also, on Camilo Duvall's wild pitch, he was able to – it hit the backstop and bounce back.
Yeah, I heard he played that play.
Yeah, he actually got the ball and lunged with a dive to almost get the runner at home plate. That's something that you can't teach. It's just it's just ingrained in the athleticism. So, but you're right about the mind. You can learn processing like reads if you really, really work on it, but some guys it's a little more natural. They're just
some people
have
get
a better
vision too.
They have like Garoppolo has he'll panic in the pocket.
I've said it before. I said it before on the Krug show, but I think if you go back and watch Garoppolo pre-ACL and after ACL, he had happy feet after. Like he clearly,
yes, he did,
and he clearly
heard those footsteps.
Yeah,
you watch him in 17 before those last 5 games.
Totally different.
When I watched him that last 5 games, Sean, in 17,
he looked like Brady.
I went out to the 49ers down in Santa Clara, and I signed up for season tickets. I picked my seats, and because I said, these guys with this quarterback, the way he played in 17, I said they're going to be good. This guy's taken them to another level. Mm-hmm. And then I actually had I thought it through. It was kind of an emotional thing. I said, I'm going to get good tickets. I liked the seats. And then I ended up not going through with it because I said, you know what? I don't want to go to 8, 9 football games, go down, get stuck in traffic, be there all day.
Were they sun side or the other side?
No, they were actually, I got some in the back row of the kind of the corner of the end zone, and I was in the shade, and if it rained, I was covered. And
were they expensive?
I looked at they weren't too bad. I can't remember. It was 17. It was late. It might have been January. No, it was December of 17. I'm trying to remember what they were, but I'll see if I can pull up a picture of them.
Cheaper,
and show you guys.
Than the Giants, that's for sure.
Yeah, because I took a picture from the seats, and I was kind of like, these are kind of cool. So while you guys are, let's get back to the Giants situation.
Okay, real quick, Dan. What does this do? What does this do to the bullpen? Is it showing that Kapler? It's early. I don't think it has to do with the trust. But what does the bullpen must think when they're seeing Stripling going out there in the 7th, and then the 8th, and not relying on those guys in the pen to come out and stop the bloodshed?
Why is Stripling in the bullpen? I thought we traded for him or signed him to be a starter.
Well, he's a starter, and the problem is they have 6 starters, and they're trying to keep them all like happy.
Okay.
We actually have a 7th starter in Junis, who came over. He was with the Royals, was a starter, and started quite a bit last year. So
yeah. So what do you think it says? Like he was saying, what do you think it says to
the theory behind it is to keep the bullpen fresh so that they don't pitch a lot and that they're fresher later in the season, because they wore out last year, as most bullpens do for most teams. So they think it's a strength of their team. But in the 8th inning,
thank you. Yes.
You got Brebbia down there. you got Rogers, you got the other Rogers, and you got Alexander. I actually don't think their bullpen is very defined with roles, but I actually don't. I think the fact that they're carrying 7 starters, really, they don't really have enough guys that are in positions to be. And Jelly's another guy. He's the 8th guy. That's more of a long guy. They don't have guys that are, like when they won the world championships. You had Lopez, you had Affeldt, you had
Romo,
and Casilla. You had those 4 guys, and then you also had Contos and in there. But the main 4 guys, they had roles. Bochy had them in a role, and when
Bochy's
you got
role manager.
Yeah, when you go to the 8th inning of the 8th game of the season, I mean, you're not talking 100. You're not talking where the guys are gassed. You don't give away games,
right? And Dan, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think that home run came with 2 outs.
Bouncer wants to know if Ross Stripling has any trade value.
Not now. He's gave up 5 home runs and 7 innings, something like that.
Yeah,
but hey, he's got Ned said he's a great guy though.
Yeah, he says that. Supposedly, I heard a stat earlier today. All last year, he only gave up 12 home runs, and now he's already at 5.
5. Yeah, in 6 1/3 or 6 2/3 innings.
But yeah, there was 2 outs. All they had to do was bring in one guy. They see it. Hey, he's leaking oil. Anyone could see it.
I mean, if you're leaking oil, exactly, why would you leave him in there? Because this is the thinking of Kapler, I believe.
I mean, Robert Rothberg would have seen that.
Because he's got pitches in him. He's got gas in the tank. Just because, hey, you want to grab that guy, knock that. Let me see if I can knock him out of there.
Mark got him.
Mark got him. Thanks, Mark. Looks like the freak in the chat.
The bot?
Yeah. Let me see.
Offering back to the Dodgers.
Yeah. It's like this. 8th inning, 8th game of the season. You had 2 days off. Your bullpen is as fresh as it can be. Are you going to use the bullpen in the 8th and 9th inning, or are you going to use starters because they can pitch longer? So you're just not going to even use your bullpen?
Was it a righty-lefty matchup? Once again, I didn't watch the game. So
it was righty-righty. It was Stripling against Salvador Perez.
Did you say Salvador Perez hit 46 jacks?
48 a couple days.
I think in 2021. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I missed that. I
thought
he was on the decline. 48 bombs?
Yeah. Let me look it up his stats here.
That's insane.
Yeah. So, and he's a low ball hitter. Remember Mad Bum? Eric brought up a great point.
Yep.
Yeah.
He pitched him up in the letters every pitch.
Yeah, you saw that. Yeah, Sean was there. Yeah.
Every pitch was high. Was not going to let him get into his wheelhouse.
See if I can find the photo from that night. You'll get a kick out of this. I was wearing my gold jersey.
Yeah, 2021, 48 home runs.
Photos.
121 RBIs.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm just looking him up too.
He had 23, and then last year I think it was injury prone last year.
Yeah, last year he hit 23, 48. Yeah, wow, 21, unbelievable.
That's a lot of backs,
I mean, yeah. So, yeah, I mean,
there we go.
No, it was 2019. That was.
Oh, look at that.
That's awesome.
You got
that's like KTVU like little feed right after the game, like right at the top of the dugout.
That's cool. Man, that's cool.
Yeah, it was so awesome.
Yeah, that was
wow.
That was quite.
You did. I mean, that's like how many people get to see a Game 7 and just I mean, that's going to get Bumgarner in the Hall of Fame, that game alone.
Yeah, Mark. So Mark just asked how much the seats were. So we in 2010 we did not go to Texas, and so then we didn't even like think about when I say we, the guy that I split my seats with, we had 2 seats right past first base, between first base and the bullpen, 6 rows off the field. They were killer seats, 105 row 6, and we had those since the ballpark opened. And so in 2010, we just went to every game. 2012, we were like, oh, we should go to Detroit. And then we were like thinking maybe we would go to like the last couple of games if it went there. Well, they swept. So that was out. So I told my partner, Joe, I was like, listen, if they make the World Series again, if they make the World Series again, we got to go. We got to go on the road. We got to do it. So we went to games 3 and 4. And then we sold game 5 for like $1,800 or $1,900 a seat. Maybe just say $2,000. We sold for like $2,000 a ticket.
Wow.
For game 5, and used that money to fly to Kansas City.
Nice.
Pay for the hotel.
Yeah.
And we bought game 6 tickets for $800 a seat. And then game 7, I think they were like $1,100 a seat.
Well, a lot cheaper in KC.
Yeah. So the tickets are selling game 5 covered the seats. We just had to pay for the flight and food and the hotel or whatever.
Wow. That's good thinking. When the Giants played the Dodgers in 21, I had my season tickets and I sold the games 1 and 2, made some really good money.
Mm-hmm.
And game 5, I was like, I sold the tickets because I was down in Arizona, so I couldn't go. Actually, I was actually in my home in Idaho at that time. So I'm like, what do I do with game 5? If the Giants lose, I'm sunk as far as making money on against the Braves, because I would have made a ton of money in those 4 games.
Sure.
So I bet on the Dodgers. I hedged my bet. I hated doing it, but I was like, I'm going to, because I'll make money up in game 1, if they, so I bet like to win like $500
nice
on the Dodgers if the Dodgers won, which, I did not even think about the money. I was not even thinking like, oh, I won 5. I was so devastated. I was like, dang, hate losing to the bums, but it was like, it was like, because my goal was to make money through the next 4 games, hopefully against the Braves and then in the World Series.
Yeah.
So it was like, well, dang it. So Spencer Stewart says, how many states do you live in, Dan? Yeah, I actually I sold my place in Idaho, but I have property still left in Idaho, kept some property. And I've actually got some property over here in the Philippines that I could do. And
Dan's prepping.
Got my, well, I thought about it. I mean, the way the things are going, man, I mean, the Idaho spot is really cool because it's up high overlooking the river. And it's a nice place, but it would if things really, really got crazy and got out of hand, that would be a good place to go. But
yep.
What's that one on the field?
Yeah, that's Bum getting his MVP. He was walking out.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Walking out to get his MVP.
When you saw him coming out of that bullpen, I bet, did you get goosebumps?
Okay, so that's me with the Marlins man.
Oh, the Marlins man. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about Bum, so we were walking around town. Obviously, when we got there, we got to eat and stuff. We wear our Giants gear, and the people in Kansas City are super nice, really nice people. And they would always like come up and rib us or whatever. And then after like inning 3 or 4, once they were just getting destroyed, my buddy Joe and I were like, let's just walk around. Let's just go check out Kaufman. Just walk around the stadium. We weren't even paying attention to the game because we kind of knew it was over. So check the stadium out. It was cool. All the fans were kind of like getting in our face, but like not in like an aggressive Dodger Stadium, I'm going to kick your head in way. Right. But like, hey, we got you, World Series, we beat you. And I would look at them, I'd be like, you got to win one more, guys. Like, you still got to win one more. And so later that night, and then the next day, we went to lunch, and this old lady came up to me when we were at lunch. She was like, we're not going to see that Bumgarner again, are we? She thought I was a Kansas City fan. I was like, no, you're going to see him today. Like, I'm pretty sure you're going to see him. He's coming out of the bullpen at some point. He's not going to start, but you're going to see him. You just better hope that you guys have a huge lead at that point. And so I was talking with the people that were sitting around us, like all the KC fans that were sitting around us, and they were saying the same thing. Like, well, I hope we don't see him. And the guy was like, if we see him, it's over. Game's over. And so once he was warming up, the bullpen door, I knew he was warming up, and I was like, hey, bro, look. And I like looked at the guy that said that earlier. I'm like, check it out. And he's like, that's it. This game's over. We lost. Game's over. Like, he was serious. He wasn't trying to be funny. He was like legitimately knew that the game was over. And it was what Bumgarner did in that game was insane. Absolutely insane. So I don't think we'll ever see it again. He was unreal.
You saw history. Honestly, you witnessed baseball history.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm really like,
unbelievable.
Once in a lifetime situation.
Yeah, MF says, have I been to Yellowstone? No, I actually have not been to Yellowstone. Nick J says Idaho will be a great place for when World War III starts. Yeah. Actually,
you don't want to
place...
be in the Philippines when you don't want to be near that South China Sea. That's
this is the other funny picture I put on my Instagram. So that's at the parking lot.
Uh-huh. Turn it a little bit the other way so the other way. There you go.
Can you see what that sign says?
That's what I'm trying to read it. Yeah. What does
it's directing us to parking.
Okay.
And it's $10.
That's it?
$10
World Series.
My gosh.
The lot that we parked in.
I paid $35 at the Giants for a weeknight crappy game when.
So in 2014 for the game 3 and 4 that we went to, we would park right across the street from the left field duels entrance, because that's like you just walk up there and walk down to my seats. So that's where we would always park. And there's like a building there. They have the underground parking. That's always been the most expensive since the ballpark opened, is that one spot, just because it's so convenient. And for that World Series, now this doesn't sound as crazy now, but it was $100. And in 2014, that was insane for parking. And yeah, it was nuts. And so then when we got to KC, unbelievable. We got to KC, we're like, this is $10. And that parking lot, the parking lot of Kauffman and Arrowhead, is the biggest parking lot I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, it's just insane how many spots there are for those two stadiums. So Bouncer, the Royals fans are very friendly. Like I said, they were nowhere near as aggressive as some not rival, but some like teams that you're playing. Like
Nick J says, when we explain Bumgarner 14 World Series in 30 years, people will think it's a folklore.
Yeah,
one
true.
of the best World Series. Yeah, it's when they talk about the Don Larson's perfect game, I think it was 1956. It's like, did that really happen in the World Series?
No hitter in the World Series or perfect
game? I still think that, even though I've seen it highlights. It's like I know it happened, but it's like, but when I was little, I should say, when I was 20 years old in 1981, I heard about it. It happened in 56, right? Don Larson, 50. I think it was 56.
It was 54 or 56. I have a signed ball by him. So
it was like 25 years later. I was still like, I'm not sure if that really happened. Yeah. So when people talk about Bumgarner pitching a shutout complete game shutout in game 5, comes back 3 days later and pitches 5 innings.
Gets a save.
And gets 5 inning save. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, check out, going back to this, I found my picture. Look at these seats here.
those are your seats.
Wait, that I was gonna get. That's the view.
Yeah, it's a nice view.
It's an actual video, and you can see the seats where I was gonna sit here coming up. I really liked the place because it was in the. Is that moving? Oh, it's not moving. Here. There we go. So,
Levi's is kind of a shithole.
So I took a panoramic kind of view a little bit. That's the back row against the wall. Those seats.
That's nice. You can stand.
Yes, the view is really good. I probably, in hindsight, should have bought them. Like somebody in the chat says, could have sold them, and just made money, especially now. I was just, I should have just bought them and had the seats.
What's your take on Levi's? I've been a bunch of times. For me, it's
overrated.
It's just boring.
Yeah,
it looks boring.
Yeah,
it is boring. Like I've been downstairs in the BNY club. That's cool. But it's just a club. Not everyone has access to that. It's just boring. And you look at SoFi, and I've never been to SoFi, but I heard SoFi is just like the greatest thing of all time. It's
and the other thing they did, like I'm down in Arizona, the stadium's, it's pretty cool indoor stadium with the, open roof most of the time, but they've got shops all around it. There's nothing around Santa Clara. It's just like, it's like piece, there's no shops to just sit out and hang out and bring revenue in.
I don't know. They're gonna get rid of Great America. They had 11-year countdown for Great America, but I think they're just gonna build housing.
Interesting.
Just be more housing. I'm sure they'll probably have some sort of.
I heard the Niners are asking for some insane amount of money. I don't know what it was, 120 million or
from the NFL to fix.
To kind of fix up the place. They're trying to get the Super Bowl in 3 years or something like that. They want
Super
it for
Bowl should be at SoFi every year.
You think so, or Vegas, or SoFi?
So far, throw Vegas in there because Vegas has got like all the accommodations, and it's Vegas, and Vegas is awesome. But between those two, I mean, it was dumb when they had it in New York City because of the weather. That's stupid.
Look at that. Chardall says he currently works at California's Great America.
I remember when it was Paramount.
Yeah. They had 11-year countdown. Times. I think someone's trying to save it. Chardall will probably know more than me. But
I mean, says Levi's sucks.
Levi's does suck. It's just boring. It has no. I would say it has no soul, but you get a soul when the team wins, and they've been doing a lot of winning there lately. And you get playoff games. You get a soul when you get playoff games, like Chase Center. Chase Center was kind of soulless when it opened up, and it's dope, right? But once they started winning a bunch in the playoffs, then you're like, oh, it's got a soul, cool. But I don't think so. I don't think Levi's really has much going for it. It just looks like crap, and it kind of is crap, in my opinion.
Yeah. So what do you think of? We're talking about kind of a, it's kind of like soulless, like you said. It's kind of not the greatest, even though it's, what is it? 12 years old, 11 years old, something like that. 10, 11 years
is when it opened.
14. So 9 years old. 9 years old. It looks more. It doesn't have what you would think a first class newer stadium would have. That
it was like $2.5 billion, which is not a lot now, but in 2014 that was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So plus $6 billion. So in relation,
but I mean, it should have been an unbelievable state. I mean, the way they built it with the sun sitting out there on the opposite side of the Niners bench.
Terrible.
It's awful.
The sun is
awful.
Yeah.
My cousin had my uncle's sons. My uncle passed away, but he had season tickets at Candlestick on the 50-yard line, right below the press box. Okay, he was given those seats. He was the attorney for the Morbidos when they sold to the DeBartolos.
Mm-hmm.
So he had long time relationship, and they had these seats. What did the Niners do when they moved to Levi's? They stuck him up on the 30, 40-yard line, way up top, near the top of that side where the sun hits you.
Yeah, because they
And
wanted to sell his seats for more.
Yeah,
and they
and so
they didn't want to offer it to him.
It was. So I've sat in the seats, and it was a night game though. I went, when they played the Packers in 19 Sunday Night Football when the game got flexed. But great.
They needed to spend more money. There was ways that they could have, even with the same design, even though the design sucks, it's just boring. They needed to sink it into the ground more like SoFi. The reason why they didn't put a canopy on it for the sun is because it would have been too tall for the planes landing at SJC. So that's why the design is what it is. And it probably was going to be another, I don't know the exact amount, but it would have been millions and millions of dollars more to sink it more into the ground. And they were already over budget. And so they just said, oh, shit, we'll just roll with the way it is. But
dang.
That's
the
problem. That's why, like, why don't you just put like a sail, like a big giant sail over it, and that would help cover up. But they can't, because the FCC won't, not the FCC, the FAA won't let them do that. It's too tall.
You might know this. Did they ever consider China Basin, the Niners?
I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't.
Huh?
They need to. I've seen people say, like, you just knock it down.
We're talking about the giant. I mean, the Niners stadium at Levi's. What do you think it's going to be like in, say, a June weeknight, July weeknight game down at 10, Oracle? 10,000? 10
to 15.
You think it's going to be like Ace. You think the fan base with the Giants is, if they continue to perform like this, is going to, you think there'll be any kind of backlash from the fans?
Well, the only thing the fans can do is not spend their money.
Yep.
That's the only thing they can do to get through.
I mean, this has been horrible. I'd already talked about this before, just like you were talking about, Sean, last year at the trade deadline. You didn't trade Jock, you didn't trade Rodon to try to replenish the farm that's suffering, that's continually dropping. It went up a little bit, and then now it's dropped. And then you got the off season, which was horrible on a whole bunch of different. I mean, we're going to get younger and more athletic up the middle. There's no player that we cannot afford, and it's just.
I threw out a trade yesterday that I'd like to see.
I totally agree.
Did you see it with my trade, or?
Oh no, I was just agreeing.
With Eric. Yeah, a trade I came up with was, the Giants have third base. They've got
why isn't Schmidt playing?
Yeah, Casey Schmidt's hitting over 300.
It doesn't even matter what he's hitting. It does yes, it matters. I take it back. It matters. But he at least gives you some sort of excitement, some sort of like, oh shit, we got a new guy, and like, oh cool.
If he was on any other club, he would have broke with the camp. He would have broke with the team.
The guy I want to see with the Giants is they don't have a leadoff hitter. I want some excitement, some athleticism.
Oh, I saw great. Yeah, Chisholm Jr.
Jazz Chisholm is a guy that he's got pop in his bat.
So fast.
He flies around the bases. He's like.
Miami?
Yeah, he's with the Marlins, but he's only 25. They moved him to center field, and he doesn't like playing center field. He's an infielder because they got this kid from the Twins in the offseason, the guy that won the batting title.
Arraez or something like
that. Something, whatever, with the Twins. So they put him at second base. So he's out, and plus he's like 4 years. This is his fourth full season in the majors. So I think after 6, don't you become you're eligible for free agency after 6 years or something like that? I don't know what the MLB requirements are.
He's got 6 hits and 30 at bats.
Yeah, he's off to a slow start, but he hits. If you look at his background,
last year he hit 254. Yeah, I mean he could fly.
He could fly, but why not? I think the Marlins would want somebody, like a VR. I'd like to keep VR for first base, but I'm okay with getting rid of VR if you can get Chisholm and then move JD Davis at some point to first base to have his bat. And then you can have Estrada actually play shortstop when Crawford is, it's a lefty, and you can put Crawford out in left field at time. I mean, Estrada, because Estrada is probably their best all-around player at this point. Would you agree? Everyday player. I mean, for what they have. I mean, he's not.
He's cool. He's nice.
He's not like
he's a good player. It's sad that he's our best player.
That's what I mean. They need more, because what they have to do now when they want to get JD Davis in the lineup at third and keep VR in, they got to put VR at second base. Have you seen he's not a second baseman.
No, second base is very intricate.
Yeah, I mean, he's okay. He can, but Farhan said our goal this offseason was to get more athletic up the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And they're going to put David VR. He's got a third baseman's body. First base, I mean, he's second base has got to be, and shortstop, you got to have with no shift now, you got to be able to get a lot of range.
Yeah, you got to have your range now. Yep.
So I don't know.
Dan, real quick, I got to get the phone's about to die, but I'll get back. I'll be in the chat, so I'm gonna just
and I'm not going to hang on too long here because it's what the heck time is it here? It's 2:00, 2:06. I haven't had anything to eat yet. I had a little like a muffin this morning at the airport at 6 o'clock in the morning. So
yeah, no Costco in the Philippines, is there?
No, haven't seen no Costco.
No completes, no Costco.
Yeah, no completes.
Hey, Sean,
it was
great
deep
seeing you.
shit
We'll
over
catch
there.
you around, all right?
Yeah,
great, easy, Sean.
Yeah, take it easy. See you, Eric.
All right.
Yeah, you're just going to be destroyed. By the way, your trip. I heard you were 25 hours on the way home.
Oh yeah.
With some jet lag, you're just going to be destroyed.
I know. I got these. I did okay coming over, but I took these jet lag pills at some homeo. I felt pretty good over here. I don't know if it works on the way back. I heard that's the hardest part when you go back.
Before we had kids, we flew to France and did like a France Amsterdam Brussels trip. It was really fun. And
yeah,
it was really fun. But the flight over to when we landed in Paris, my cousin picked us up because he was living there at the time, and I was just like, I wanted to die. I think we got in around like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I wanted to die. And he's like, no, you got to stay up. You got to stay up. We'll go to dinner. We're gonna go get some food. And I thought it was over. I thought this is the end.
Oh man,
because the jet lag was so bad, and I need to stay up for like another 5-6 hours.
Oh, that's the worst part is when you're. I mean, I've been getting up stupidly at 2 a.m. this last week with the Giants season starting to watch the games.
What are you, a fool? What are you doing?
Exactly. I got up at 2 o'clock in the morning and watched these games, and then I was just like. So I thought, well,
Number one, what am I doing getting up this early? Number two, what am I doing getting up this early to watch this?
Yeah. Marlon's not going anywhere. Why not get him? Jazz Chisholm. I'm reading some of the comments somebody said Kim Ning, the general manager of the Marlins, wants a top prospect. Bouncer said that. Bouncer says, Dan, I want Bobby Witt Jr. type. Yeah, I don't think you'll get Bobby Witt with the Royals, but, I was trying to think of a position of need because I think second base Estrada's there, but next year, what are you going to do at shortstop? You're going to bring I think Luciano, I don't think he's a long-term guy at shortstop, but maybe. I'm just ready to see the young guys. I'm ready to see Schmidt at third, Luciano at second.
In the outfield.
Go get Chaz Chisholm. Put him at second base. Put JD Davis first. Let's start seeing Matos and Von Brown and just
there's
let him play.
Like I said before, there's no star power. It's just boring.
Yeah,
There's no star power.
Yeah, it's so it's
12 bombs one day. Don't get past second base the next day.
Yeah, Ramos is actually coming up tomorrow.
I saw
it's
that.
Funny because I put it out on Twitter a day and a half ago. I said
I saw that
he's going to come up, and it's like.
Wait, so I jumped on the I jumped on the stream, not the stream. I guess the stream. I jumped on the stream like right when Vicky was saying something that who attacked you? Someone attacked you?
Oh, you'll have to go check out last night's show and Krug show.
Who was
Cyrus? There was 5 of us on there. Larry and Baller and Frank Red, myself and Cy Statzis. And
he was attacking you?
Yeah, he just jumped all over me for just like, just
Vicky Boone's got your back though.
Well, if you read the comments in not just the chat, but the comments in the YouTube, like there's about 8 comments and they're all, in my favor. I didn't do anything other than just Larry asked a question and I answered it. It's like he said, Larry said, why isn't Andrew Wiggins, you think, playing in the last 2 games? And so I was like, I said, well, because Rick Celebrini said, Steve Kerr said, Rick Celebrini not ready to play, to put him out there. He could get injured and they want to ramp him up and they want to get him in better shape.
Player.
Yeah. Want to get him in better shape. And then Cy just jumps in and starts screaming, oh, you think I'm tired of you interrupting. I'm like, I didn't interrupt you. And then he goes, the real reason is Wiggins didn't play or didn't work out at all during the 2 months he was out. He never did anything. And so he's not in shape. And I said, what did I just say?
That's not what, but that feeds into your point. But they also said that he's been working out on his own.
Yeah. Well, then Cy's point was that it came out that Wiggins said he didn't.
MF just said, does Cy have inside info?
I don't know.
The answer is no.
The whole thing with, he's a journalist. To me, he's more of a fan. You don't see journalists getting,
Read Bouncer.
What's that?
Read Bouncer's comment.
Oh. Cy has bipolar, a friend told me. I don't know. He definitely, sometimes he's super nice and I had nothing against him. I don't understand, yeah. But anyway, so Eddie K. So I was just trying to wind you up, Dan. Yeah, he got me a little.
Did he get you wound? Did he get you wound up?
Yeah,
You snapped back a little bit.
I snapped back. Yeah,
a little fire from the Philippines.
Yeah, I snapped back a little in character, a little out of character. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, sooner or later, a man can only take so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Eddie K said pretty much. Cy said the same. That's pretty much it. Yeah, is it. He said the same thing.
Did Larry jump in and say anything, or he was just along for the ride?
Yeah, he was just kind of set back along for the ride. I think he could have maybe stepped in and
he wanted to see it. He wanted to see the fireworks.
Yeah. So
it's good for clicks.
Yeah, Bouncer. Yeah, senior abuse. Damn it. Yeah. Dan, report him. Yeah.
Hey, side note, Amanda and I went and saw Air today. The movie Air. It was really good.
The Jordan one?
Yeah.
The one that's directed by his kid, or
no? I think it's a Matt Damon and Ben Affleck movie.
Oh, okay.
They're both in it, and I think they probably produced it and directed it or something like that. But it was
about him when he was younger. Is that?
No, it's about them. It's about them getting him for Nike in the beginning.
Oh, getting how they got him. Wow.
Which everyone kind of knows the story. And this is a good point that my wife brought up. She's like, everyone kind of knows the story, but it was the acting. And there's not that much action going on. Like you can drag out this like idea of them signing him for 2 hours, but it's the acting. It's Jason Bateman, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. They carry the movie. And it was really entertaining, really good comedy. It was spot on. It was good.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
You should check it out. And apparently Michael had to give his approval to get the movie done, and they don't show Michael at all. And he's there. He goes in the meetings, but they do it specifically. They have always someone standing in front of the person playing Michael.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's pretty wild, because
and he said that he specifically wanted who's this actress? The actress that plays his mom. Here, hold on 1 second, I'll tell you. Oh, Viola Davis. Yeah, Viola Davis plays his mom, and Jordan said that was his choice. He wouldn't, like, apparently, I could be wrong, but my buddy was telling me this, like he wouldn't sign off on the movie unless there was a really good actress playing his mom.
Wow, that's awesome.
And she was great too. Yeah, the movie was, Chris Tucker's in it. Like, it was really entertaining.
I'm sure it's not playing where I'm at right now at the Cebu.
Is there a theater where you're at?
There's probably one around here, but I'm sure it's not. They might. I don't know. I guess they do have a lot of stuff that's centered around America. As far as the media and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but it's very.
And you're in an Airbnb right now?
Yeah, it's just a little. I would say this place is probably. I bet this isn't even over 150 square feet. Let's see.
150 square feet?
Yeah, I could show you a little bit here. Let me see if I can. That's the front door.
Yeah.
Kitchen. I can't show the bed completely because my wife's just laying down there. But
yeah, don't put her on.
So this is the turning around this way. Got a TV, and then behind us here.
Yeah.
But and then over there's the bathroom by that door there.
Yeah.
But it was so
very
cheap.
tiny. It's like it's almost like a studio.
It's like a studio, and they're pretty nice on the outside. And but I saw it was for 2 nights, 3,500 pesos. So that came out to for 2 nights. It's like 3,500. Let me see. I'll tell you. I got the conversion.
Pesos?
Yeah, they go on the pesos here. So for 2 nights, and I'm not staying 2 full nights. I just got a 1 a.m. flight, and I didn't want to check out by noon and haul around 4 pieces of luggage all day. So I said, well, I'll just get good rest and leave just before 10 tomorrow night. But the 3,500 pesos, how much you think that is in American dollars?
I was just doing it.
$64
deal
for 2 nights. I'm like, I care less. I was gonna book it. I said, screw it. For 32 extra bucks, I'm gonna stay.
Yeah, you
get my rest.
A mansion at that price.
Yeah, but I mean, it's got a fridge. It's got a place to cook if you want. Got a comfortable bed. It's clean. It's got air conditioning. Right, you can see the air conditioner right behind me.
What's the weather out there right now?
It's hot and muggy. It's not even in the summer season. That starts in. When does summer season start, babe? Oh, she fell asleep. I think she said it starts in. Let's see. This is April. Starts in, I think, May.
It says I just typed in Philippines weather. It says 90 degrees outside, but obviously that's not where you are.
I mean, it's just usually humid, and it rains a lot. But I mean, it's so beautiful. It's green. There's some parts I've been to that I want to go back, like some of the beaches, just really beautiful blue water. There's just a lot to do. And the Filipino
in the desert, you should go check out the beach while you're there.
Yeah, the Filipino community they're just so friendly. Everybody's really friendly. Food's been good. It's been good. I mean, she needed to get back and definitely see her mom, and I haven't been back since 19. Before once COVID hit, we weren't able to go back. And
was the flight expensive?
Let's see. For the 2 of us, I want to say, what do we have? 2,200 roughly for the 2 of us, round trip. It's about 1,100 each. We ended up going on Korean Airlines.
Okay, that's a good airline.
Asiana's been one we've done before. That's a little nicer, a little better food. Philippine Airlines has the only nonstop. But
So
I'll tell you,
$2,200 round trip for both of you.
Yeah. I mean,
It's like I just booked flights for going to Hawaii in the end of September.
Southwest, right?
Well, the flight that we won out of San Jose, it's like 9:20. It's like the perfect time with kids. So the earlier flight we would have had to take in the Southwest, and it was like 7:00 in the morning, which is not easy. Which means I got to we're getting up at like 4:30 in the morning, 4:45 in the morning. That's just not That's not smart. So the 9:20 was good. So we're flying on Hawaiian Airlines.
Oh, okay. I think I looked at some flights Southwest into Maui. I think they fly direct there to Maui, and I can't remember, but if you get them in advance, I mean, you can get them for 500 piece round trip.
Yeah, it was. So there's 3 of us, right? And then the baby's a lap person, last lap. He flies on a lap. So the 3 tickets: San Jose to Honolulu, and then Honolulu to Maui, and then Maui back to San Jose. And it was, I want to say, like around $1,600, $1,700.
Yeah.
3 of us.
Yeah. True, Eddie. Yeah. Starbucks is expensive. I had it over here. It's not much different prices than home. The other things some things are really inexpensive. Like I had a pretty good hamburger and fries for like $5.
Where?
It was like just
like
different restaurants.
Spot? Not a chain?
Even in the malls, they're just pretty reasonable. Food's a lot cheaper. Yeah, Dan's Bouncer, you eating those delicious bananas over here? Yeah, actually had some bananas right outside my wife's mother's home. They just, neighbors pulled them off the tree. It's kind of funny because the way, the Filipino cultures, it's actually pretty cool because everybody, families, they stick together, and so there could be like all this big area of property that the family owns, and then there's like 5-6 houses each family. They're all real close. So, I mean, I don't know if that works in America in our culture, but it definitely works here. But someone had bananas growing, and it's just pulled them right off the branches there, and they're sweet though. They're different. They're smaller. They're a little smaller, but they're sweeter. So
you cannot bring those back.
Yeah, and they got some really good mangoes over here.
You got to eat it all. You're not allowed to bring any of that back into the
right. Yeah. Lumpia. Yeah, Chardal. My wife makes the best lumpia. I've told her, look, hey, we should. She makes the just unbelievable lumpia deep fried. When you put them in, but she uses olive oil, so it's a lot healthier. But they are the best. Yeah, I love that. Pineapples are good too here. Yeah, there's so much stuff to do over here too, and they got hot springs and cold springs you could go to.
How are you watching the games, by the way?
Just on the apps.
YouTube?
Yeah, no, NBA app for the basketball and the MLB app for the baseball. Yeah, so it's actually pretty cool because I have the whole MLB and NBA package. I can watch any NBA game or any Major League Baseball game.
It is
MS
nice.
says he loves Filipino beefsteak. That's might be called tapia. Beef tapia. That's really good. Tocino. Tocino's really good. I've had some pork tocino, chicken tocino. Yeah, really good stuff. But yeah, I'm talking about this. I'm getting myself a little hungry. It's been almost 8.5 hours since I've had any food on me. So
you got to go eat, brother.
Yeah, I need to get going. It's 2:24 here in the afternoon, Sunday afternoon. So
11:24 p.m. Pacific Standard.
Yeah, exactly. So, But good to catch up with you and see you. Were you kidding the other night when you said you gave up you
retired
from?
I'm retired right now.
Are you really?
Yeah. No, it went through a pretty serious cold spell with the first baskets. Yeah, my guy went cold, and
I never really I did a couple of them with you, and I think one guy hit out of one of them, but I never got really I like the parlays more, building them.
Yeah,
because
you with the first baskets, you had to bet every single one, and if you missed any, it'd be a problem because that one would hit, and then that would make up for the rest of the misses that night. So you really had to bet every single one, and for the better part of like 3 months, he was on fire. Not on fire, but it was profitable.
Yeah,
it was profitable, and then it was no longer profitable.
So it's 2:25. The Warriors play Sunday afternoon at 12:30.
Yep.
And it's 2:25, so it's 2 hours in Sunday afternoon over here. So Eddie's asking, did him in the future the Warriors? Right now, Eddie, it's 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and the Warriors are up by 14.
Yeah,
112-98.
Minus 17 is the spread.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, 112-98. Oh, Steph just hit a three. It's 115-98.
There you go.
So Warriors should, coast, feel comfortable. Yeah.
So that's the second. Actually, that's the second window. The first window is at 10 a.m.
Oh, is there? Let me look.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 games on at 10 a.m. and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games on at 12:30.
Yeah, it's funny because wherever you are, your phone changes. So here's the ESPN app.
Yeah, what time does it show?
But Monday, April 10th is when the games are. Warriors Trailblazers at 3:30 a.m. Oh, crud.
You're going to get up for that? No way.
Oh, dang it.
You don't need to watch that. You don't need to watch that game.
I probably will get up at 4:30 I'll probably, what I'll probably do is I'll probably go to bed here tonight because I'll probably go to bed about 9 and get up about 4, get about 7 hours. And then, yeah.
It's not going to be entertaining.
Somebody asked that in the chat. I'll see if I can find it before I do. Dan, is Giants getting swept, right? Wouldn't surprise me, just the way the Giants.
It's very hard to sweep a team at home.
Yeah, it is. But DeSclafani will pitch well tomorrow. Kapler will bring in Jelly. Alex Wood to blow the game. Yeah. Somebody said something about what were we just saying about
the Warriors and whether it's going to be entertaining.
Oh yeah, somebody made a comment about the NBA tomorrow. See if I can go way back here and find it, because I meant to put it up when I saw it. It was about what are the NBA gonna do if it's a sham or something tomorrow. See if I can find that. Yeah. Will it be a sham tomorrow? Will the games be a sham? Something to that effect. And I would say a lot of them will be. I mean,
it was a lot of it depended on the Pelicans. Like if the Pelicans had lost, then the Clippers could have decided whether they wanted the 5 or 6 seed. If they win, they get the 5. If they lose, they get the 6. So they could have just tanked against the Suns, which would have been 2 teams trying to lose.
Right.
Just because that's an easier matchup. I mean, the Kings are just an easier matchup again than the Suns. That's just no doubt.
Well, that's a definitely good thing that the Pelicans won, because that would have been, if the Pelicans, who'd they end up beating?
I'm kind of hoping they play the Suns because I want to go. I'm sorry, not the Suns. The Kings. I think tickets in Sacramento will be just a smidge cheaper.
You're talking about when the Pelicans on Saturday or Friday night. I'm saying Saturday here.
It was
against the Knicks.
Yeah, they beat the Knicks 113 to 105.
Yeah.
So that was the game. If they would have lost that game and everyone else won out, then it would have come down to tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Whether the Clippers won. Then the Clippers would have decided everything, whether they wanted the 5 or 6 seed.
Yeah. I mean, that would have been, interesting. So
that didn't happen. So we're good there.
So I think the Clippers are going to probably play to win that game tomorrow, because if they lose, they're likely in the play-in, because the Lakers aren't going to lose to Lakers and Warriors aren't going to lose tomorrow. I can't see it. I mean, Lakers are home to the Jazz. Jazz
Warriors
are
going to win. Clippers, if the Clippers tank, then they get the 6. Maybe, but maybe they'll go to the play-in. You don't know the Clippers.
Well,
they can't you can't mess around and try to position themselves to get into the 6 by losing to the Suns.
Right.
Because
then they will end up in the play-in, because
then you end up in the play-in, and I can see them winning a home playoff game, but the real problem is you lose a week of rest.
Right.
That's the bonus you get by not going to the play-in.
Exactly.
Is that week of rest. And I think the Warriors need that too, because they need to get Wiggins up to snuff.
Yeah, exactly. So
but did you watch the game? It was a good game.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
Peyton is making a big difference in my opinion.
This is why I agreed with the whole trade. I thought Peyton was the guy. I said when it was done, and
it just sucked that he was injured.
Yeah, but I knew that he was going to be, when he came back, he's going to be a force. But what do we got here? Oh, Spencer Torkelson, bouncer, says he'd like to have at first baseman or get Andrew Vaughn from the White Sox. Yeah, both local guys. Either one would be an upgrade. But yeah, so we're gonna close out here, and then of course I'll catch up with you in the green room right after, Sean.
For sure.
But thanks for joining us. Tomorrow, you know what? I may do the Warriors play at tomorrow at
3 in the morning.
What did I say it was?
3:30 in the morning.
Let's see. Let me look again. 3:30 in the morning, so it'll be like 6 in the morning here. I may do something about 7-ish. Let me look at the Giants. When do they play at my time here? I get Giants play at 4 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, maybe I'll do something tomorrow about see, that'd be like 7 here. So that would be maybe like 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Maybe we can do something if you want to join us. Yeah. It is Easter. I don't know what everybody else has got over there. So
my mom coming over, probably watch the games.
Yeah.
The usual. I might be able to hop on.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do something 4 to 5 o'clock, something like that.
Sounds good. Everyone, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button.
Yeah. Thank you, Sean. Yeah. Hit that like and subscribe button and get this channel to actually grow. And I got some shirts. I actually got some shirts.
We got 21 people watching and only 8 likes. So
yeah. Hey, let's get the likes up. Yeah.
That's not a good ratio. Can someone just smash that like button?
Yeah, smash the like button. Just helps out the algorithms and helps out with YouTube. I did get some shirts, Sean.
Oh, nice. I got to get one.
And yeah, I'll get you one. What size do you wear normally?
Like extra large.
All right, because I got XLs and a couple of 2Xs. What I found out is the Philippine sizes are about an XL in America is like a large, and they didn't have any 2Xs. They only had 3 of them, and I got all of them. So I was like, gosh, because those
are going to be huge.
They're tighter. They're a little smaller. They're a little smaller. Yeah. So the XL is really a large. So 2X is and I only had 3 of them. So, yeah,
we can get some printed. Get some printed when you get back.
Yeah, get some up there. So Romo, I love it. Great show, Interrupter Dan. Yeah. So, yep, Chardal. It's 2:33 here in the Philippines, and yep, you can get a shirt. I'll be getting those when I get back. Get them up. Yeah, Mark Graves says get 2 sizes up. I know. I'll get some double and triple XLs when I get back to the States. They're just so much more cost effective over here.
But then you got to bring it home. You got to
I got a big suitcase with nothing in it.
Lug it home.
Yeah, but
you just had your logo and you had them printed.
Yeah, just digital. It was digital online, through an email, and just sent it to them, and then it's screen printed.
Wow,
it's okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, but anyway, so hey guys, we're gonna call it a show here. It's 11:35 back home, so you guys have a great Easter tomorrow, everybody there, and yeah, we may be able to do a show tomorrow afternoon, kind of maybe a Giants and Warriors. I don't know. Larry may invite me on his show. Maybe I'll head over there. We'll see. It won't be. I'm not going to do no round 3 with Cy. Somebody said the other night. It's pretty funny. They said the Thrilla in Manila.
There you go.
So anyway, so everybody have a great night, and hopefully we'll be able to see you tomorrow. Until then, thanks for joining.